Alright, let's start with this main riff here. Now, for the left hand, the trickiest thing here is going to be to stretch out across frets 3, 5, and 7. So you'll be using your index finger on fret 3, and then for most people it'll be your middle finger on fret 5, and then your pinky on fret 7. Some people like to use the ring finger on fret 5, but I recommend using the middle finger if you can. Now, to keep that big stretch there, you'll need to watch your thumb position. So if your thumb's up too high, then it'll be really hard to stretch that far. And if you bring your thumb down lower, my thumb's about halfway down the back of the neck there, then it should be doable to maintain that big stretch. And if you do that, then when you're playing it, then you won't really need to move your hand around at all and make that riff much, much easier to manage. Now, the right hand's job on that riff is going to be to do nice big downstrokes the whole time to get this nice punchy, aggressive kind of sound. That will tend to sound a lot better than using alternate picking there, downs and ups. If you can do a little bit of palm muting, especially on that big E string, then that will help a lot too. So to do that, you want to rest that the heel of your palm there of your right hand just where the strings meet the bridge. And you can experiment with the right positioning there. If you're too far over this way, then it will sound all dead. If you go too far this way, then you get more muting, right? So nice and in the middle there, and you get that nice chunky sound. Okay, now the other main thing to have a look at in this song is the solo in part 3 here. Now for the left hand, it's a little bit of a finger twister, which is kind of challenging. There's lots of jumping back and forth between different strings. Some good fingering suggestions there, and you might need to experiment with other ideas and see what works best for you there too. But really, the right hand's going to have the harder job for this part. One approach that you can use is to use outside picking as much as possible. So outside picking involves, if I was say picking on the G string and the B string, like these first two notes, so that 9 there and the 8 there, if I pick that down, up, then I'll be using the outside surface of each of those two strings. Down, up. If I was picking the other way, like the next two notes here, on the B string back down to the G string, I'd be doing up, down. So that would again give me the outside surface of each string. As a general rule, if you're jumping to a thinner string with outside picking, then you'll want to jump to that thinner string with an upstroke. If you're jumping to a thicker string, then you'll want to jump to it with a downstroke. It works on lots of playing where the tempo is not too bad. Like it's moving along reasonably quickly, but it's not too bad on this song. But the accuracy is the really tough thing. So if I look at this first part here, down, up, I could go up, down in order to maintain that outside picking if that was comfortable. And then 7, and then up on this 9. Then notice there I did up, down, and then I'll do up again here. Down on this 9 here, and then up. You see how each time I go to a thinner string, I'm doing it with an upstroke. If I continue on this next bit here, you can see here 9, 8, 9, 7, 9, 11. Notice it's returning to that G string fret 9. That's down, up, down, up, down, up. And you'll find it really helps maintain that accuracy if you're doing that outside picking. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Always up on the thinner string. Now, that's one approach. The other main approach that you could use there would be hybrid picking, which would be to use your finger, especially your middle finger, to pluck the string rather than using the pick. So here for that 9, 8, 9, 7, 9, 11... Notice I'm picking down here, then I'm using my middle finger on the B string, then I pick again on the 9, I'm using my middle finger on this 7 here, again, and picking with the 9 there, middle finger on the 11 again. Pick, middle, pick, middle, pick, middle. And that way you can keep the pick much more stationary, it doesn't need to move around nearly so much, and whenever you're jumping to a thinner string, you can use that hybrid picking technique to do it. Now the thing with hybrid picking is if you haven't done it before, then it can feel a little bit awkward at first and it can take some practice. So this could be a great chance to practice it, or if you feel like you want to use the pick more, then I'd recommend using outside picking to try to tackle that cleanly. Okay, good luck.